Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider. Like my background? I got the Raider sign, and every time it flashes, I wish it would yell out, Raiders, 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 Raiders. Hey, what are we doing on today's video? Well, I promised you guys a daily video, barring the weekends, but definitely Monday through Friday, I will get you a daily video talking about Raiders. And one time every weekend, a live stream of some sort to appease your palate. Well, what are we going to talk about on today's video? Well, I'm going to start a series where we're going to look at each positional group for the Raiders from my perspective, and I'm going to grade it, and I'm going to do some predictions and talk about some possible free agents that are available or ways we can either improve our positional group at various positions per my knowledge. And people think I should start with quarterbacks, but it's overdone. We'll do that in another day. We're going to start with running backs today. But first, please hit that thumbs up, that subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell for notifications for when and if I go live, and consider becoming a member of this channel. I know there's not a lot of exclusive content just yet, but it will be happening, so just wait. But becoming a member helps. It just helps me have passion, make a few bucks, pay a few bills maybe, and I appreciate you guys. But if you don't have it to give, I completely understand, because this world is crazy. So hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. That's a way to support as well. But for all the true people, well, you're all true, but for all the people that have helped me out throughout the years with memberships and support, I freaking love you. All right, let's talk about the running back position in today's group. Video. I think that's what we're going to call it. I don't think our running back position is looking too good. There's a lot of potential, but I just do not like where our running back group is looking. Too many young players. But of course that means, like I just said, they have potential. And I just quickly want to put this out, because yesterday I talked about Derek Carr, and the haters have to come out still. And anybody that still hates on Derek Carr, or anybody that says his name, you're not a real Raider to me. Because you're not living that Raider swag, and you're not respecting people that did and tried their best for our team, and you're not living that quote, once a Raider, always a Raider. Okay? So, get off my platform, unsubscribe, and move along. It's simple. It's called empathy. It's called love. It's called respect. How did Derek Carr do you dirty by not playing so good all the time? How did he officially do you dirty? But let's talk about the running back group. And what I wanted to say was, I love Josh Jacobs. I was a big fan of Josh Jacobs. I'm a big fan of running backs. And Josh Jacobs is now with the Packers. Has he written a statement thanking the Raiders organization and or the Raider Nation just yet? A lot of players do that when they go to other teams. And I'm still waiting on a Josh Jacobs letter of love. I don't know. Is he salty? Or in the back of his mind that he's like, I'm once a Raider, always a Raider. So whenever I retire or if I come back or whatever happens, the Raider Nation fan base will accept me. So I don't need to write a goodbye letter, because it's not a goodbye. It's a, I'll see you soon. Maybe that's how Josh Jacobs is thinking. So I'm going to leave it on a positive note. Now let's look at our running back position. Let's quickly talk about the cap space on this team. We have about $21 million according to Over the Cap. But our running back position, we got like 6 players right now on the roster. That's not including undrafted free agents. But we got Zamir White, Alexander Madison, Dylan Lobb, the rookie that was drafted. We got Emil Abdullah that was just re-signed again. We got Britton Brown, a drafted rookie in the Gruden years, and Sincere McCormick. And you're asking yourself, with all of the names that I pretty much mentioned, well, maybe not real Raider fans, but the average person that watches this video are like, for everybody that I just mentioned, they're like, who? 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 Exactly. There's a lot of potential on this squad. But who are these running backs? Now, granted, I'll talk a little bit about each one from my Raider fan perspective at the running back position. I like Zamir White. He's averaging like 4.5, 5 yards a carry in replacement of Josh Jacobs when he has went in there. And he looks good. He is a bruising type running back. But I haven't seen him break away a huge one. I know he's had limited reps, but he's not a speedy type running back. He's more like a Zeus running back, a big built back that can run it down the throat and the middle of the defense and gain some big yardage. And that's the same thing with Alexander Madison. I had Alexander Madison as a sleeper on my fantasy teams last year, and I thought he was going to take over the running back duties, and I got him like in the 5th or 6th round of the fantasy football drafts. I thought I got a stud running back to take over for the previously gone Dalvin Cook, who's a name we're going to mention in a minute, but he didn't play so great. He was averaging technically probably 4 yards a carry, and I don't have the yardage in front of me, so forgive me, guys. I don't have the ability for graphics and all that other stuff, so I'm using the old school papers. You know, just like the 420 people, I'm using the papers to give you my joint information. But Alexander Madison, he only had a few touchdowns, if at all. He had 2. And he's like a big bruising back, and he's getting older, and he gets tired out as the season goes along. But he is in similar vein in my early perspective of Zamir White. They're typically the same type of back in my non-expertise eyes. And I don't see big, speedy runs or many cuts. And, you know, they might break a few tackles, but I don't see that explosiveness at the line of scrimmage except in a forward fashion from these 2 running backs. So I kind of like the scat backs, the all-around backs. I don't typically think we had one of those on our roster. Now let's talk about the drafted Dylan Lobb. Again, he looks like a scat back, but he also looks like a bruising back. But this is the guy that, in the highlights that I saw, that made a lot of cuts. A first cut to the left and to the right, and he broke some big plays open. Even though he's from a smaller school, and he caught the ball out of the backfield very, very well. And I like bruising backs, but I want a bruising back and a scat back combined that can do both very well. And that's my opinion of Dylan Lobb. Maybe Zamir White can do it just as well. But I haven't technically watched as much of Zamir White as I should have in college. And I only remember what he did with the Raiders. And I'm excited about Dylan Lobb. So, like, if I have to grade these players at the end of this, my favorite that I'm rooting for is any of them, of course. I'm a Raider fan. But I really like Dylan Lobb. But we all know it's Zamir White's job to lose or to have backup with. I don't know how I should have phrased that. Then we got Amir Abdullah, who was also the 3rd down back for the Raiders last season. Catches the ball out of the backfield. He had a few good runs up the middle. But none of these players have broke those 30 yards, 40-yard ones, to my knowledge, that many times. I just don't see that explosiveness and that quick movement. I look so bad doing it. And then Sasir McCormick, they're all young players for the most part, except Amir Abdullah and Alexander Madison. I don't know who Sasir McCormick is. He's got a good name. I'm going to try to be sincere about this, but I don't know who he is. Then Britton Brown. I watched his college highlights 4 years ago. Don't remember him. So overall, when you look at our running back situation, you have to ask yourself, do we got the next Josh Jacobs? Probably not. Do we have potential? Yes. But what type of potential do we have? Do we have the potential of a big, bruising, up-the-middle running back that can also make one-step moves and break 30-yard runs on occasion? I don't think we got that. I don't think we got it. But in Luke Getsey's system, he likes the bruising type running backs, the up-the-middle running backs, and he wants 4 or 5 of them on his team. Because technically, he wants his quarterback to be that extra running weapon that he needed when he was with the Bears. And you saw that with all the running backs that they had coming in the door and out the door for Chicago. And that is my fear with this Raiders running back room. Does not mean that any of them cannot be a star on this team. I just technically, at this moment, do not know who that official star-studded running back for the Raiders will be. Everybody's going to say, it's Juice White, because he's the heir apparent. Some might think it might be Dylan Lobb, as the season goes along, as he learns the team. I'm okay with either or. But my starting lineup, my projected starting lineup, if no other changes come, no injuries happen, I'm going to have Zamir White as number 1. I'm going to have Dylan Lobb as number 2. That's right, I'm bringing him that high. Then I'm going to have Alexander Madison as 3, Amir Abdullah as 4, where they might go back and forth. And then Sasir McCormick and Britton Brown are going to be the practice squad players for injury relief. So, grading the players on a scale from, an F to an A, from my knowledge, as of right now, Zamir White, I'm going to give him a C+, because he's got major potential, and I liked what I saw from him, albeit I want more speed and more agility. I'm going to give him a C+. Alexander Madison, I'm bringing him down to a C- after what I saw as a fantasy football owner of him, being the star-studded running back for the team who relinquished duties at the end of the season. He doesn't have it anymore, or did he ever? Then Dylan Lobb, I'm going to grade him a C. A lot of potential, and I'm rooting for the guy. Maybe it's because he's white. I don't know. Maybe it's because of all the Palpatine talk and the against Israel talk and all the racism in the world today. Maybe I'm rooting for a white guy for once. I root for everybody, but maybe I'm rooting for a white guy. But I don't know. I liked what I saw from him, and I give him a C. Amir Abdullah, he's like a C-. Sasir McCormick, Britton Brown, they're like D's to me because I don't know anything about them. Now, let's quickly talk about some free agents, as we do have $21 million in cap space. There are some free agent running backs available. And let me know if you guys would pick up any of these running backs. Or would you just roll with the squad we got and hope that one of them pans out and you would not pick up a free agent running back unless we had an injury? So these players are available. Dalvin Cook, Rashad Penny, Cam Akers, Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon, Jerick McKinnon, and many others. Well, if you had to ask me if I had to pick one from the list that I just mentioned, it would be a toss-up between Cam Akers and Jerick McKinnon. But I'd probably roll with Jerick McKinnon just because he was a Chief and he has some inside secrets and knowledge on their system. And Jerick McKinnon looked good in playoffs when they used him. He looked really, really good. And I would like to know some of the Kansas City Chiefs secrets. I'd like to have him a part of the team and us get into the playoffs and beat the Chiefs with Jerick McKinnon. So if you had to hold me to the fire to pick any one of those players, it would technically be a toss-up between Cam Akers and Jerick McKinnon because all the other running backs that I mentioned sound like the running backs we already got on our roster. The big running backs that don't have that speed or that swag, but they can run up the middle, gain 3 or 4 yards, hopefully every time they run the ball. But Cam Akers is a headache. And we all know about his insecureness and the way he's going from team to team to team. Something ain't working. And Jerick McKinnon, he's on the last leg of his career, so you know he would want to stick it to the Chiefs. So I would pick Jerick McKinnon. Let me know who you guys would pick from the free agent list below if we had to pick one. Let me know your grades on the running backs I just mentioned for the team. Let me know your starting position for our running backs. And let me know if you disagree with me that I think we have a lot of potential, but I'm very worried about our running back situation. Or should I not worry? I want to know your guys' perspective. Again, I don't mean to upset you if you don't agree with me, but that's my perspective on the Raiders running back room. I'm excited, but I'm also pretty damn scared. Pretty interesting. But with a good offensive line, any of these running backs that I just mentioned can have a good year for the Raiders. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay Raider, and I'll see you on a live stream this weekend sometime. Go Raiders!